Let's take a moment, look at the disclaimer. This content is for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only, and nothing should be taken as a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any securities at any time. We're here just to tell you how we analyze the market, how BTA look at the markets. This is Rod from BTA, and we are known as the middle traders. Okay, this is going to be an end-of-day analysis of the major index ETFs. Okay, we're going to start off with the DIA, and we're going to look at the daily chart of the DIA. Now today, the market had a kind of a mixed session. Okay, the Dow Jones, Industrial Average, it basically closed down 0.4%. Okay, the Dow Jones was down 129 points, but the Nasdaq was up 194 points, 1.75%, and the Standard & Poor's basically closed even. It was only up 6 points. So it was kind of a mixed session with the Nasdaq leading the way, up over 1.75%. So let's take a look at that. So here's a daily chart of the DIA, and let's start out with our moving averages. Okay, so if you notice here, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed right on the 5 and the 9-day moving average. Okay, so it's really nothing to talk about much from last week, because we're still playing right around the 5 and the 9. The biggest thing with the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is that it closed directly on the 5 and the 9. See, on Friday, at the end of business on Friday, we closed above the 5 and the 9-day moving average. Today, we opened up below it. We traded down, but the action reversed. So it was a strong reversal today from the lows where we was at, and then it closed right on the 5 and the 9. Okay, so we got to see what's going to happen tomorrow. But what we should be mindful of right here is that we have a downward trending 21-day moving average. Okay, you see that downward trending 21-day moving average? It is right overhead. Okay, we closed at 309.71. The 21-day moving average is at 312.60. So we have to see what happened. Let's see what happened tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. There's a lot of economic news coming out on Wednesday, so let's see what happened. Take a look at the blog. We got a list of all the economic data that's coming out for the rest of this week on our morning article on browntradingacademy.com. So now let's look at the DIA on the structural chart. Now, as you can see, we opened up and we broke below the 306.28 and the 305.26 level, but reversed and closed back up. Okay, so this level right here, this 306.28 and 305.26 is holding as some pretty strong support right now. The market has been trying to test the break below it for the last 3 trading sessions, going back into last week, but we can't seem to get below it. It's holding. Okay, so it's holding. So let's see what happened. Let's take a look at the Standard & Poor's 500. Okay, let's take a look at the SPY, the ETF that tracks the Standard & Poor's. And we got the same thing. We closed directly almost on the 5 and the 9, just a little bit above it for the SPY. Just a little bit above it for the SPY. Let's zoom in so we can see it. You see that? We just closed just a little bit above the 5 and the 9. But we still have this overhead downward trend, the 21-day moving average just right above head. So we got to be careful. But it was a reversal today. The market opened up lower. It kind of gapped down, traded down, and reversed and closed up at the high. And it closed at the high of the day. Okay, notice that we closed at the high of the day, right at the high of the trading session. Okay, for the DIA and for the SPY. So far, we closed right at the peak. Okay, but let's go back to the SPY. And notice right here on the SPY, the SPY, look at the structural chart. Okay. You see we tested that internal trend line. We tested that internal trend line and bounced right off of it. We tested that 371 level. First of all, for the SPY, we opened up well below this 380 level we've been watching on the SPY. Okay, that's a weekly level we have been watching on the SPY. We opened up well below it and right on this downward trending internal trend line. And then we traded down. Okay, we broke below it. All right, but we found some support right at the 371.63 level, and it bounced. It got back above this internal trend line right here, and then it got right back above 380, and we closed at the high of the day. So this market doesn't seem to want to fall below that 380 level right now. It's trying to hold it. It got straight down to this internal trend line where it opened up. It opened up below the 380 level. It opened up below it, traded down, and bounced, but it's right back above 380. So we were up. It was above 380 on Friday. We traded below it today. We got back right back above it today. 380.54 seems like it want to be the level to try to hold support for right now. But at the end of the day, no matter how high it goes for right now, the main thing is that we got this overhead 21-day moving average, this downward trending 21-day moving average is what we got to look out for, okay? That's the thing. Can we get above that? Can we get above that downward trending 21-day moving average? That's the question. All right, let's look at the QQQs real quick. All right, the QQQs, the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100. All right, look at the QQQs. We opened up down, traded down just a little bit and bounced and broke above the 5 and the 9. We finally got above the 5 and the 9 today for the Qs. We've been above it for the last 5 trading sessions, okay? Today was the 5th day. We got below it, but it closed above the 5 and the 9, the white and the green moving average. The next stop right here, 288.20, this downward trending 21-day moving average. That's the thing. Can we get above that downward trending 21-day moving average? Well, we'll see. But it did have a strong reversal today for the NASDAQ. There's no doubt in that. Okay, let's go back. Let's look at the structural chart on the NASDAQ. Okay, as you can see right here, we got below 280. I shorted it at 280. Okay, I told y'all I was going to take a nibble at 280. It reversed, got back above 280. I gave it a little bit of room, and I got out pretty quickly. Okay, because 280 is the level that it had to hold support. So right now on the structural chart, we got this we got this outside trend line, this downward trending trend line. Okay, right here. Let me bring this down. We got this downward trending trend line coming from back over here. See this downward trending trend line? This trend line right here going across these highs. Okay, that's the next stop. Can we get above that? We broke below the 280 level, 280.21 right here, opened up below it, traded back above it, and we broke above the overhead resistance at 284.94. This downward trending trend line, this channel, can we get outside of this channel? That's the question. Okay, that's where we at now. You see this channel right here? See, we got below it, well below it, got back in it, traded down to a little bit, now we're bouncing. This trend line right here, that's the next area of interest. Can we get above that? Can we get above that? Well, we definitely got back above the 280 level, got back above 284. Now we testing that downward trending trend line right there, okay? But 288.20, the 21-day moving average, okay? And once again, for all of the indexes, major market index ETFs we looked at so far, the 21-day moving average is right overhead. Can we clear it? Okay, let's look at the IWM. Same thing. See that downward trending 21-day moving average is right overhead. We close above the 5 and the 9 today. The white is the 5, the green is the 9, but we got this downward trending 21-day moving average right overhead at 174. Even 174 is right overhead. Can we get above that? And then we got this straight downward trending 50-day moving average. All right, the IWM got a lot of overhead resistance right now. We have to see what happened, okay? But now, let's look at, you see that big, thick red line right there? Do you see that big, thick red line? The March 2020 highs. We opened up below it. We got down to this 168.90 and this 168.09 level. It reversed, broke right back above the March 2020 highs. That's where we at right now. But you see this internal trend line right here? This internal trend line is the next area of interest. That's what we have to look out for. But for right now, I tell you, for all the major market index ETFs, the 21-day moving average on the daily charts is the next stop. Can we get above the 21-day moving average is the key. There is really nothing else to talk about. The 21-day moving average is it, okay? Can we get above the 21-day moving average? What's going to happen when we get around the 21-day moving average? That's the key. Can we get above it and stay above it? So for right now, we'll leave it at that. We'll monitor the 21-day moving average. This is the time that we have to sit now and wait, okay? There's no more playing around. We have to wait now. We don't know which way this market's going to go. I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of economic news coming out tomorrow, but it seems like the market, for the most part lately, a lot of bad news it's not trading off as hard on a lot of bad news. It's not trading off as hard on a lot of bad news. But let's see what happens. Can it stay above the 5 and the 9 tomorrow? Can it stay above the 5 and the 9 for any length of time? Okay. And can we stay above the 21-day moving average for any length of time? That's the question. On the daily charts, keep an eye on the 21-day moving average. Here's the ITOT, same thing. Close above the 5 and the 9. The downward trending 21-day moving average is the yellow line. Same exact thing. Can we get above the 21-day moving average is the key. Keep an eye on it. See you on the next video.